of the government in passing this law is, as Firdaus and Cynthia have said, to target minorities. There is no other aim to the law. There is no forced conversion happening in this state.
This law that is being brought in on forced conversion is a complete bogey.
Forced conversion that is attacks act, which is a myth, and that is the fear that they will weaponize this act and criminalize it even more than it already.
Like, who are you to tell me which religion I should follow? And if it is a forced conversion, who are you to tell that it is a forced conversion? If it is a forced conversion, then I will go and complain to the police that I will do it.
The Christian community, in association with many other minority communities, when they raised voice against the anti-conversion bill to be proposed in the assembly, in reaction to this one, the BJP government's many leaders, including ministers, are insisting on a single statement. When you say that you are not doing any forceful conversions, why are you afraid of the laws? This is what the only statement that's coming from the BJP leader. Why are you afraid of when you are not doing anything wrong?
The reason why Christians, not just Christians, I may point, the entirety of the civil society and concerned citizens are worried about such an anti-conversion bill is because how we demonstrate to you these 39 attacks and many more that we have not been able to document. And if you see, in all of these attacks, it is on the pretext of forced conversion that these attacks happen, which is a myth. And that is the fear that they will weaponize this act and criminalize it even more than it already is.
So if the government assures the communities, minority communities, that we will take care of.
The aim of the government in passing this law is, as Firdaus and Cynthia have said, to target minorities. There is no other aim to the law. There is no forced conversion happening in this state. What the government is doing is going after minorities by drawing up laws that target them. This is just the latest one of them. There have been many more before this, post 2014. 5 states in the north have passed laws that restrict and squeeze freedom of faith since 2018. We should resist it in the south.
See, any act of force or violence is already criminalized under the Indian Penal Code. There are enough laws to counter any act of force. This law that is being brought in on forced conversion is a complete bogey. The sole intent of the law is to target Christians. The sole intent of the law is to target minorities. The existing law covers any act of force or violence. There is not a single act of forced conversion that is being brought in. And law can be brought in if there is an issue. When there is no issue, there is no need for a law to be brought in.
Is to find this is so, but fact-finding reveals that this is actually what has been going on here. The first aspect is that the coverage tends to be aimed at the victims and there is a presumption of guilt that something wrong is happening while it is only routine religious activity. The second is there is no reference or there is very little reference to the rights of these people whose churches are being violated, whose prayer halls sanctity is being violated, where people are being assaulted and abused with casteist terms. That is not the primary focus of the report. It is the side of those people who are perpetrating violence that is taken and the role of the police is not questioned. The third is the toleration of the absence of law. Baba Sahib was referred to in the debates. He specifically used in his draft the word freely convert, which was changed later to freely propagate, which he did not touch, assuming that the two meant the same thing. I think that we have undone over the years through courts and legislation the right that the Christians of this country had specifically asked of the Constituent Assembly through Frank Anthony. What is happening in the north of India is now coming to the south, and I think that there is not sufficient resistance from the southern media to this. I think that we, all of us as journalists, need to be slightly more aware of this. The fourth thing is hate speech, that there are laws which prevent the use of casteist abuse and words and phrases that provoke violence that are dismissed in these media reports and are not taken as seriously as they should be. The last point I want to make is that the sensationalism with which this is covered tends to bring harassment and shame on those people who are the victims. And I think that they find it difficult to continue with their lives even after the attack. I think that it is up to the media to make sure that this is reversed, and I think that this is required to be done with a sense of urgency.
So at the outset, the Firstly, there is no forced conversion that is happening anywhere. It is absolute bogey that we found in our report also. On the second level, what we have to recognize today, especially as media and people concerned citizens, is that the right to practice religion is effective. They're going to houses, they're going to small houses, rented houses, they're going to small spaces and breaking into these, and people are scared to practice their own religion. Notices are being sent by BBMP, notices are being sent by district administration to stop doing prayers in the privacy of my home. And as a lawyer today, and as many other lawyers, civil liberties lawyers, we know that the Puttaswamy judgment gives us the right to privacy, which includes my individual choice of faith, and I have the right to self-determine not just my partners, but also what religion I choose to practice and how I practice that religion. So thirdly, in this context, in our finding, is that in context of not these 39 incidents, but also many other reports have come out. As we know, the report by APCR as well as ELI, which looks at the attacks on Christians happening, one in Karnataka, also all over the nation. In this context, it must be very clearly told to the government and to the Legislative Assembly that there is absolutely no need for the anti-conversion law, and it will only make weaponization, which is already happening against Christians, worse. And finally, there are two more things that I would like to say. The law that the government is so stumped and influenced by, that is your law of the UP and law of Gujarat. The UP law is under challenge in the Supreme Court, and in the pendency of that challenge, bringing such a law in Karnataka is a matter of shame that they're considering it even. It is wholly unconstitutional, the UP law. And finally, for the Gujarat law, there is a High Court stay on a specific section which is conversion for marriage. And if they consider doing this here, we can assure them that our High Court mostly will not go either way, because there is a precedence, and law follows precedence, not whims of the government. And finally, the recommendations, which are very, very critical for all of us to note. In these 39 incidents of attacks, of hate crimes, they're not just violent attacks, they are hate crimes. What has the government done? What has the media done today? And that is the question we must be asking, instead of focusing on an anti-conversion bill. And to remind the government, in fact, that the Supreme Court has passed an order in Tehseen Poonawalla saying that the only rule that must prevail is the rule of law. There is no rule of vigilante mobs that can prevail, and that you must actually be giving victim compensation schemes to the people who are victims of these hate crimes. And we must ask the state today what they have done to comply by these directions of Tehseen Poonawalla, and we recommend that Tehseen Poonawalla be immediately implemented and FIRs be immediately registered under provisions of IPC, as well as the SCST Prevention of Atrocities Act, since we see caste is such a huge factor today in these hate crimes.
No, I just wanted to say, I just wanted to share what the report already says. Basically, the majority, the silence of the majority is really, motivating all these factors. So the silence, the majority, the people who are not affected by this should raise their voice to maintain the social democracy. That is very important. And one more thing, what I would like this report already portrays is who are you to tell me which religion I should follow? And if it is a forced conversion, who are you to tell that it is a forced conversion? If it is a forced conversion, then I will go and complain to the police that I will do it. They are forcing me to do it. You don't have to decide whether when I have converted, whether it is a forced conversion or not. So basically, these are the things at least the silence is broken by the people who are not getting affected by it. Then only this social democracy will come in.